I sucked at mixing for 8 years in a row until I learned this one thing. And you all know this feeling when sometimes you produce a track, you mix it, and it sounds good. But the next track that you make, it just sounds like crap, and you don't really understand if you are doing everything correctly. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about this one thing, and it is not even a secret, but when you understand it and how to do it correctly, your mixes will sound amazing on any system, whether it's a laptop speaker, headphones, home system, and especially club speakers. So what is the thing that I'm talking about? It is sound selection. Yes, as simple as that. And I don't want to talk too much. I'm just going to show you 2 examples, and then I want you to analyze what track you like more in terms of the quality of the sound, and then I will explain everything and we'll dive deep into the topic of today's video. So check out those 2 tracks. Track number 1. If you can hear the difference is dramatic. And for those of you who maybe don't realize the amount of difference that there is between those 2 tracks, the second track, I just compressed the shit out of this track, and I killed the dynamics, and I got like millions of like plugins, processing and stuff like that. And in first track, 0 processing, like literally almost 0 processing, and the stuff that I had like we're not even gonna count. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about sound selection, how to master sound selection, and how to make your tracks sound good without over processing that. That's the topic of today's video. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Vlad and I create superstar music producers. So that's the purpose of this channel, to help you to build your music business, become a successful musician, and so on. So if you're interested in coaching and you need some help with your music, whether it's production, mixing, mastering, sound design, composition, arrangement, literally anything, check the comments down below. There's a link to my calendar. Just book a time. Let's have a nice conversation and get some amazing results with your music. And with that said, let's get started with the video. I prepared my beautiful presentation, and let's start with a little bit of theory. When does mixing start? And for quite some time, I believed that with processing, like compression, EQ, saturation, like this stuff, I would be able to make my mixes sound good. But in reality, the mixing process starts from the moment you pick your sounds, from the moment that you think in your head what kind of track do you want. Lesson number 1, don't overcomplicate things. And I will show you an example in Ableton Live shortly. So you can see here, we have 2 examples. One is when I try to illustrate when you try to make elements fit that from the beginning don't fit each other. And the second example is an example where we have 2 elements that just sound great, like without any processing. So why do you overcomplicate things, like with processing and trying to solve unsolvable with processing, right? So for example, this is another track, and I'll show you one of the latest versions of the same track. Check it out. It sounds pretty good, but if you take a look at the previous example, that was version 8, just listen to how the kick and the bass sound in this example. It doesn't sound good. So from the beginning, it sounds a bit off, and what I was doing is I was trying to fix this issue with some processing, and we're going to talk about that. This is a real life example. The whole thing didn't work from the very beginning. So you can take two elements that just don't fit together, right? And then you can try to fit them with processing, EQ, saturation, compression. But what you will get at the end of the day is the element that is just not working still, right? And I want to illustrate this. So if we take, for example, this loop. Let's start with the kick. So I do have saturation, multi-band compression, another compressor, EQ here, one more EQ, and one analog EQ. So my question to myself is, why did I do that? And I did that just because I didn't realize how powerful it is to just select fucking good samples. Like, just select good samples. That's it, right? So I can, okay, let's apply this processing, right? I can apply the processing. The difference is like, it just doesn't solve the problem, right? It doesn't solve the problem. This is with, this is without. Still, like, the kick itself doesn't work with the bass. So do not try to fix unfixable, because you're just going to waste your time. You're going to get frustrated, like self-doubt and all this shit. You know what I'm talking about. All right. And then let's take it further. So I was trying to fix that on the group. So again, on the group, saturation, multi-band compression, another compressor, like 3 compressors. Like, why? Like, for fuck's sake, why? Why did I do that? And now you can listen to this. So it kind of works. But the kick just, it doesn't sound good. I don't like it too much. You want to do what works perfectly from the beginning, right? So when it comes to like your sound selection, kick, bass, drums, synthesizers, you want to take what works and that's it, right? So that's everything that you need to know about this. It must sound great from the beginning. That's it. If you do this correctly to your music, you don't have to mix, because mixing is fucking overrated. Like, really, mixing is fucking overrated. So you can really hear the dynamics of the kick and the bass, and it just works perfectly, right? This is just another example that you can get good sounds without processing. And then again, if you look at my drums, I'm just gonna disable all the stuff that I have here. So just the reverb. No EQ, no compression. The drums are super clean, unprocessed. These 2 plugins is just sidechain, right? So I hope that it makes sense with the processing, how mixing really works. And I believed that, again, you have to put a lot of processing and stuff like that, which like, it's just not true. And it's like, I feel pissed at myself that I didn't figure this out earlier, but that's the reason why I'm making this video, right? So in reality, everything is already fitting well with each other, and you don't want to fix what's not broken, right? So again, the same example, if we take the kick, right? All I had on this kick, it was just like a little bit of compression, and we can go like, it's still like a lot of compression, but if you mix the right amount, it will sound good. So we can check in the club again. No compression. Just helps to bring the kick a little bit more like up front. And that's it. Like, really, I'm not gonna do more than that. Maybe just a little bit of EQ if we look at this. Nah, this one is not even needed, right? So just compression, a bit of EQ, that's it. can play with this. I don't want to be too specific. The only point that I'm trying to illustrate with this video is you don't want to over-process your sound. So in this example, even without the compression on club system, it still sounds great. And that's the power of having good sound selection. Now, the next thing, and that's like the key point of this video, is how do you actually make your sounds fit? And we have to go back to basics, right? Forget about the processing. We're going to talk about sound design, sound selection. One of the most important things is the envelope and the length of each of the elements, right? So for example, I'm gonna do like this. So if I make it too long, I increase the release time. And then we can listen in the clip. You see, when the decay time is too long, it just like kills the vibe, because like sound waves are physical. If you want to learn more about that, just check my previous video about the automation on my channel. Like sound waves are physical. If you have one wave which is going like this and it hits the wall, it's just gonna sound like shit. So in this example, if I just shorten the decay time, that's it. You see how nice and punchy the ARP sounds, right? And then you can do some automation, but the most important thing about this is go to basics. Go to basics. Understand the length of the elements and like how many sounds are playing at the same time. And this is like especially applicable when we are talking about the kick and the bass, right? So we have, again, just gonna show you the kick and the bass here. And just listen to how it goes with the bass. Let's make it really boomy, really big, right? So you can try solving this with, let's say with the EQ. Let's remove the compressor. So I can try. You can hear how boomy the kick sounds. It's just like it completely kills the bass. So I can try like some stuff like this, maybe like a multi-band compressor, right? So it can take, and then you want to make the sound a little bit louder. But once I make the sound louder, like you just destroyed the sound itself. So that's the point. So it's always easier to just go back and simply replace the kick, right? So again, let's go back and just go to kick A, and without any extra processing. It just sounds good. That's it, right? Kick B. It's a bit too much. You can hear like it starts fighting with the bass for the space in the track. And the same with kick C, which is like way too long. There's no like the pump is lacking, which is not really that good. And once again, the kick A. Just sounds good without extra processing. So that's it for this video. Again, it's not a secret, but I just felt like that I needed to make this video and explain everything once again, because I think that mixing is really overrated and you should not focus too much on the processing. Although like it's really important to understand EQ, compression and stuff like this. But if you focus on just picking the right elements from the very beginning, you're gonna have amazing sounding mixes. So that's it for this video. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.